Fergus Falls, they may be housing a sleeping giant in all of Minnesota basketball. Hi, everybody. Ed Schultz along with Dana Mott. Welcome aboard to our second of 4 nights of Minnesota basketball here on WDAY TV. Tonight, it's the 23A championship. Dana, how many basketballs do we have at home? They might need all of them, baby. They're going baseline to baseline.
That's the type of game Frazee is hoping for. I think Hillcrest would like to slow it up just a shade and get it into the big fella, because how in the world do you match up with Frodo Loftusness? He's 6'8". He is huge. He takes up major space in the paint. And let's face it, Frazee's big guy inside's about 5'10".
The matchups are great. Back with a starting lineup from the Cobber Fieldhouse in just a moment.
Crest Academy, City of Barnesville, Ford Dealer, Dino's Road Service and Repair, Adams Family Used Cars, Lee Seed Farm, Frazee Merchants and Community Club, Warner Auto Center, Don Sportland Breckenridge, North Dakota State College of Science, Simison Marine, Pauley Merchants and Chamber of Commerce, Hardy, Fergus Falls Convention and Visitors Bureau, Fergus Falls Merchants.
Let's go to the PA announcer for the starting lineup for tonight's District 23A championship game, and Brett Storsvik.
Ladies and gentlemen, Concordia College welcomes you tonight to the championship game of the Minnesota District 23 Boys Basketball Tournament. Tonight's game features the visitors on the scoreboard, the Frazee Hornets, and the home team on the scoreboard, the Hillcrest Academy Comets. And now your starting lineup. First for the visitors, the Frazee Hornets. Starting at 1 guard, a 5'9" sophomore, number 12, Corey Ferguson. Starting at the other guard position, a 6'1" sophomore, number 22, Mitch Anderson. Starting at the center position, a 6'1" senior, number 42, John Kostanek. Starting at 1-4, a 5'11" senior, number 10, Nate Johnson. And at the other forward position, a 5'11" junior, number 44, Mike Thompson. The Hornets are led by head coach Dennis Anderson. And now your starting lineup for the home team on the scoreboard, the Hillcrest Comets. Starting at 1 guard, a 6-foot senior, number 23, Brad Christensen. Starting at the other guard position, a 5'11" junior, number 31, Ed Newman. Starting at the center position, a 6'8" junior, number 55, Rhoda Loftusness. Starting at 1 forward position, a 6'2" senior, number 35, Eric Carl. And at the other forward position, a 6'3" junior, number 45, Canute Lisa. The Comets are led by head coach Richard Risbrook.
You talk to Denny Anderson, and all he talks about is what a great job Dick Risbert has done as head coach of the Fergus Falls Hillcrest Comets. The numbers, they stack up. Hey, you got to like them for a championship game.
Even, Steven. Nothing separates this ball club except for the win streak. Hillcrest a shade hotter, and although it draws the lower seed in this tournament, some people are calling the Comets the favorite in tonight's game.
John Kostanek jumping center for Frazee. He's got to think he all of a sudden is going from the buck league to the big league. Look who he's got to go up.
I wouldn't jump.
It comes as expected to the Comets, and this is Eric Carl. The D on him tonight is going to be a big key. Right away, Rhoda.
Rhoda is going to be big trouble for the Frazee Hornets tonight. They come up to his shoulders, Frazee players do, and that's about it.
Comets open up in a man-to-man. This is Anderson with a basketball. Mitch Anderson to the near side. Ferguson with a drive. We got a first foul of the ball game on Canute. Lisa. Now, a couple of things to look for early in this game is how well the Comets handle Frazee's pressure on the defensive end. After they score, they're going to pick them up. Thompson outside to Ferguson. Now the Comets, who opened in a man-to-man, are back into a zone. Nate Johnson, near side. Ferguson. First shot of the night for Frazee. It won't go by Anderson. And it's cleared away by Christensen. Comets, if they can get off to a fast start and really let Lisa go to work inside along with Froda, they could be in great shape. Quickly up the floor, turnover number one. Johnson all the way to the iron, a little too strong. Froda. Now, if that's the case, one shot at the bucket all night.
Something Hillcrest prides itself in, that is rebounding. Of course, they should win a lot of rebounding battles with the height advantage they have.
Carl for three, it wouldn't go. Thompson clears it away. Into the corner, Johnson. Frazee. They know they have to shoot well over 50% to win this one tonight. They are really outmanned on the baseline. There's the pressure we're talking about. There's the advantage. Back to Carl. He's got a great shot. Carl had a tremendous start last night. Had 14 in the first half. Johnson on the drive. Anderson. Kick it out to Mike Thompson. The zone defense certainly lending itself to a Comet advantage, and another turnover for Frazee. Newman. Newman with a drive. It won't go. Kostanek is in there. Back outside to Froda. We got a foul. Oh, 3-second call. Frazee has to consider this a pretty good start.
I would think so, and I think it's even at their pace. They want a little up-tempo a little bit, but they've got to hit the boards on that offensive end. They can't just get one shot and then leave and go play D.
Dickey's got him back in a man-to-man D now. Johnson in the corner. He's got room, and he's got two. And it's a three-point play opportunity, and Eric Carl picks up his first personal foul of the night. You know, another intangible, as we look at this play here, Johnson stays with it.
You see Carl just came over the top and got a piece of the hand, and Johnson is one of the keys tonight, not just offensively, but defensively. He's got to guard Eric Carl.
And Johnson puts down the free throw, and intangible, Dana, a year ago, Frazee was here. If the Comets get in a tight ball game on the prime time, how will they handle it? Christensen. Down low to Carl, and it's knocked around by Johnson, and Carl finds his way of getting it in. The fourth lead change.
That's what you call muscling it up.
Kostanek in the land of giants. Froda swats it away like flies. And Christensen comes up to Newman to give it up. And I tell you, the fans, they really react to what the big fella does inside.
That's a matchup Frazee just will not be able to do anything with all night long. Kostanek at about 6'1" against 6'8" Froda.
They're giving Johnson some help on Carl. Quickly down the floor, Anderson all the way across the lane. Johnson, he'll push it up. Kostanek. Oh, he muscled his way back. And the Hornets showing they're a little scrappy in the paint.
Pushed back inside, kind of used his back to get Froda off his back, kept the ball low and put it up off the glass.
Christensen outside to Carl, down low. Froda back outside Christensen. Nice touch. Little too strong. Cleared away. Here comes Johnson.
Well, Frazee's winning the rebounding battle on their end.
Johnson!
He's got 9 of Frazee's 11 points.
Unconscious early on. That's the leadership they need. Hillcrest already with 3 turnovers. This is Carl. So dangerous. So smooth. Anderson. Will get it back. And swatted away by Froda. Kostanek too. Even out here he does that. Great start by both clubs. Then we'll be back. WDAY Television Sports, the leader and always the innovator. Tonight, our wrinkle for the 1991 Minnesota basketball coverage. Sky Cam. This is the replay we will give you in the paint later on tonight on key plays. Dana, you can't hide from the big eye in the sky.
There's no way. That's the in the paint cam, and that time you saw Eric Carl slice through. Smile as he went up and laid it in.
Cobber ladies winning tonight on the road against Adrian, 100-75. They advance. The shot for Frazee and cleared away by Hillcrest. And here comes Eddie Newman with the basketball. Christensen short. Thompson. They want to run it. Kostanek. He ain't but a center and he's going all the way to the iron. They're getting everybody into this running game. And a 5-point advantage for the Hornets.
And moderate pressure from Frazee. No problem for the Comets this time down.
Christensen. Nice move in the paint. Nice body control. Early on, we see him as a problem. Right away, Kostanek. 2 quick buckets for Kostanek. And Dickie Risbrook knows it. To defend Denny Anderson's team, he may have to go the whole hard court tonight. Carl off the dribble. Kostanek. Short on the shot is Anderson. Cleared away by Christensen. A 3-point advantage for the Hornets. Lisa. Christensen left open again. He's got the green light. Johnson. Back outside Ferguson. Ferguson against Newman down the lane. Runs into the big fella, Froda. And there's a turnover, and Newman's going to come away with it. Comets can take the lead. Newman. And we got a foul called inside.
For the last 2 trips down, I get the idea that Frazee is going to come and challenge Froda and then try and dish off.
Nate Johnson on the foul.
This is Newman with a drive, and number 10, Nate Johnson, reached in.
Froda. Osmussen. And a Comet on a 6-point run to take the lead by 1. Way outside. Johnson couldn't get it. Newman to Froda. Minute 10 remaining. First quarter. Carl with the basketball. Back outside Christensen. That's his nice move in the paint. And he gets it.
He's got that move down pat. One little head fake and then drive to the hole and put it up.
Scoring extremely well off the dribble. An 8-point run for the Comets and a foul inside, I believe, on Lisa Canute.
This first quarter has flown by.
No, they're going to give it to Chad Christensen. The foul.
On the arm that time.
An 8-point run here for the Comets. Anderson at the line. 53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Common opponent, Dana. Glendon Felton.
Glendon Felton is the one common opponent. They've played 3 teams, actually, common opponent. All have beaten the first 2, Lake Park.
The most noticeable one was the top seed in the 23A, and what a dandy they had with Frazee.
Frazee lost to Glendon Felton twice, but Hillcrest was successful last night to get here.
Lisa back outside to Newman. That's the pressure that Denny Anderson hopes will be effective, and looks like they're going to play for one. And the Comets lead at 18-17, and there you see the clock. Denny Anderson says, let's get after them. And here they come. Carl Newman with a basketball. Christensen. Cross court, loose ball, knocked out of bounds. It's going to the Hornets. And they've got time to do something. Paul will put the ball in play. Ferguson. Johnson. Johnson, trap, fires, short. That'll do it for the first quarter. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a one-point game. You're watching Minnesota District 23A Championship action on the Valley Sports Leader, WDAY. Back to live action. We start the second quarter, and right away, Mike Thompson buries the 3, and Frazee goes back on top. Been a great start percentage-wise for both these teams, Dana. They're on fire, and here's the pressure. They get it up to Lisa. Nice knockaway. Carl gets it back, loose ball, and Thompson clears it away. To Johnson. Thompson. Over the back. Paul.
Thompson, if he gets his spot, he'll mark it, and he'll continue to shoot there throughout the night.
To end that first quarter, Hillcrest went on an 8-2 run to take the lead. There have been 6 lead changes. Newman. Now here's what Denny Anderson wants to do. He wants to trap the ball, break up their rhythm offensively, make them think about it. Newman. Denny Anderson, great respect for the job that Richard Risbrood has done this year with these kids. Inside Froda. It could be automatic.
When he gets it in there, it will be.
Nice fade. But Ferguson has to eat that one because Loftus says, not in this territory.
They went in, even faded away, and still couldn't get it over Froda.
We're tied at 20. Carl, Froda, they're double teaming him. They're stacking in front and behind, and Christensen takes advantage of it. Froda over everybody. No, cleared away by Johnson, and here come the Hornets. Froda's got 3 blocks already tonight. Anderson, in and out won't go. Another rebound for Loftus. You know, Denny Anderson was saying that he has great respect for Bill Klobeck, who coached for, what, 25 years at Hillcrest?
Yep.
And there's Florida Loftus again. He says, Bill, how do you get your kids so ready at tournament time? He says, at tournament time, I become a cheerleader. You can't coach them at this point. They've already learned it all. Thompson. Oh, nice move inside. Possession going to go to the Comets. Here it is, the sky cam in the paint.
Here's what Hillcrest wants to do. Get it inside to Froda that close. Every time they get it in there, he's just head and shoulders above everybody else and has no problems putting it off the glass and in.
They had a nice front and back defense on him that time. Thompson, it comes away with a turnover. Christensen put it up the floor.
But they didn't have that defense over the top.
Comets by 2. Thompson. Back to Ferguson.
First turnover off Frazee's pressure.
Chad Hausman in the ball game now. And the Comets, Eddie Newman comes away with another turnover. 5:15 remaining first half. Frazee is one scrappy outfit. Nice pass inside the Loftus. And Christensen, he could be all tournament if he just keeps doing that.
Great control that time by Froda to find the backboard. He was surrounded by Hornets.
Hausman needs help. Down low to Thompson. Fake. Puts it up. And we got a foul on Froda Loftus.
Richard Risbrook does not agree with that one.
A little bit different game tonight, Dan. It was a little bit more physical last night. They seem to be calling it a little different.
Well, the tempo's a little different, too. It's a little more up-tempo tonight than it was last night.
Game of runs and gaps. Hillcrest on a 6-0 run over the last 2 minutes and 5 seconds. We're almost halfway through the second quarter, and it's a 4-point advantage for Hillcrest.
Froda is nailing it. 5 of 6 already.
Thompson outside. Anderson. Now the Hornets being very deliberate about the way they're setting up against this zone. Anderson down low. He tried for Kostanek. Wasn't looking. They got Froda way down the other end of the court, looking for the long down court pass to Carl. Carl all the way. Nice move to the iron.
Frazee kept on expecting him to dish, but he never did.
Hausman. Oh, that's a big one for the Hornets. Carl. Froda. Nice pass.
Nice dump.
The Comets have adjusted very well to the full court pressure of the Hornets. And what they've done is they've stretched the floor. Thompson thought he had somebody behind him.
To break the press, they're giving it to Carl at midcourt. He's driving, finds Froda. Froda slams it home for his second dunk of the tournament. 28-23, Hillcrest leads it. We'll be back.
Back of the Cobber Fieldhouse. Just a couple of things to throw at you here in the early going with 3:43 remaining in the first half. Dana, Frazee, a good percentage from the three-point land. 4 of 6, but look at Hillcrest winning the board.
As expected, 14-5.
The only way Frazee is going to be able to counter that is if they stay hot, because you can't get out-rebounded almost 3-1 and over the long haul expect to be in this thing. Newman. Hillcrest on a 10-3 run over the last 4 minutes. Newman throws it away. Anderson, nice drive to the iron.
Thought he almost carried that ball for just an instant when he picked up the steal.
You sense that Hillcrest is getting a little bit more confident, handling the pressure. There's a nice double team. Quickly to Johnson. Nice play by Ferguson on the steal. Johnson all the way!
11 points already in this ball game for Nate the Skate Johnson.
Key timeout for the Hornets. They come out with 4 quick points.
They turned up the heat on the press.
Lisa back to Carl. Carl did a nice job of dribbling through traffic. He's got a pick from Froda Loftus. But he throws it away, trying to get it inside to him. Thompson, the QB, way down court. Kostanek saves it. Inside, knocked away by Carl.
That last pass inside from Carl to Froda. Froda looked back at Eric Carl and said, "My fault. I didn't go to the ball. My fault."
Runs and gaps. The timeouts make a difference. Hillcrest on a 10-3 run over the last 4 minutes. Then over the last 90 seconds, Frazee on a 7-2 run. Kostanek wants help. Thompson in traffic. Froda clears it away again. Froda Loftus is owning the boards tonight. Carl taking advantage of it. Stripped away by Ferguson, but it's going to stay with the Comets.
And even if Froda does not block a shot, he certainly makes Hillcrest think about it. Once again, we go up top. Carl driving to the hoop. Frazee with some great defense to knock the ball out of his hands, but it goes out of bounds. Hillcrest will retain possession.
Great replay, fellows, only in Minnesota.
Watch Froda.
They throw it away. Thompson looking full court up to Ferguson. Costing it. He'll have an easy two.
Great pass by Ferguson. Touch pass. He barely had it in his hands. He flipped it over his back to Kostanek.
Since the last time out, the Comets have not scored. It's been a Frazee run. Oh, a foul there by Johnson. Denny Anderson will take it. It's aggressive. It's aggressive.
Positive reinforcement. I think that's Denny's middle name.
He says he learned it from Bill Colbeck, who coached so many years at Fergus Falls Hillcrest. He says, you know, he taught old Dickie pretty good over there.
Certainly did. Bill Colbeck had some great years at Hillcrest, but they never got this far.
Froda Loftuson, short. Ferguson. Nice 360 to clear it open. Thompson. Nate the skate. All of a sudden, the Hornets lead it by 4. Christensen. He knows where Froda is. Right now, Dick Risbrook could get in that huddle and say, get it into Froda. Get it into Froda. He'd be a great coach. Johnson on the drive. Loftuson clears it away off the block. Here comes Carl. Down by 2, less than a minute. Carl. For 3. Foul by Christensen as Anderson pulled it down. That's his second.
Ball started for Comets number 23, Brad Christensen. Third personal foul. Comets and a penalty.
The three-point shot from outside the circle, just off by Hillcrest that time, and Frazee's doing an okay job down in their own end. The only time they really have problems with rebounding is in their offensive end.
Carl off the missed free throw by Anderson. You see the time remaining in the first half. It's a 2-point game. Christensen outside to Newman. They'll play for 1. Risbrook gives them the call. Carl outside. Christensen now to Newman. They got Froda up top of the high post. Christensen to Carl. Nice baseline move. Oh, nice shot. Nate Johnson couldn't break the tie before intermission. We got a great one. Let's go to Dana Mock. He's with the head coach of the Comets.
Coach, is that the type of game you want? Is that the tempo you want?
Not really. We want to slow it down a little bit more, and we got to be able to break their press more. We had a couple of turnovers. We had 28 to 22, and we got to get the ball to Eric Carr in the middle, then we can attack it, make an offense out of it. If we go into the trapping zones, then we know we're in trouble.
Coach, thanks very much. Best of luck in the second half.
Dick Risbrook, head coach of the Fergus Falls Hillcrest Comets. And some folks thought it was going to be a blowout because of the size advantage. What a battling team in Frazee. We're tied at 32, and we'll be back.
But how are we getting our points tonight? We're getting our points. We're getting the throw it inside, and Eric penetrating. Brad taking a jumper from the outside. Okay, and they're getting their shot around the 3 out here. They haven't got anything on the inside, hardly anything on the inside. So you know we got to pull our zone out and hustle down the court, because that's the key. We got to beat them down the court, set up our 2-3 high, but froze. you got to hustle down so you're down there so Brad doesn't have to cover for you. Okay, a little extra effort coming down. We got a timeout at 4:20 every quarter anyway. Okay, but we need you in there for the board. Need you in there for the board. Okay, now they went man-to-man on us, and we work our 1-2-2. Keep working the 1-2-2. Run a number 3 play. You want to ran this?
Back with more halftime action at Concordia in just a moment. You're watching Minnesota District 23A championship action on the Valley Sports Leader WDAY. The first half numbers even up on the score at 32. Good shooting percentages. Turnovers. Rebounds. Wow. The Comets big over the Hornets. And when we come back, we'll hear from Denny Anderson, head coach of the Hornets. Back with more Minnesota basketball action on WDAY in just a moment. We're at halftime and just a few moments away from the start of the second half, and we're tied at 32. Ed Schultz along with Dana Mock and the rest of our remote crew at WDAY. Happy to be bringing you more Minnesota playoff basketball. And remember, next week we'll be back with the Region 6A championship. Let's go to Dana Mock. He's with Denny Anderson.
Coach, comments on the first half. Not bad, huh?
Well, yeah. Sorry I lost my voice here, but we got to play more intense on defense. We're not playing as intense as we should. They're a tough ball club, no doubt about it. They're handling our press quite well. But we got to get more intense, then I think our press will start working.
Good luck, Coach.
Denny Anderson, head coach of the Frazee Hornets. They shot 43% in that first half, and Fergus Falls Hillcrest shot 64% in that first half, and Fieldhouse has taken advantage of that big height advantage, finishing with 12 points in the first half, along with Eric Carl and Christensen driving and shooting for 8 of the 32. Nate Johnson on fire early, got 9 of their first 11 points, and finished out in the first half, but the rebounding advantage, as you saw, is heavy in favor of the Comets. Kostanek with 8 in that first half, and only a rebound. So we go to the second half. And I think we got a great one. Now, Dana, how important is it for the Hornets, seeing that they're being out-rebounded as much as they are, to get off to that good start like they did to start the ball game with Johnson getting hot?
They've got to pick off where they left off from that second half. They've got to put on good pressure, and hopefully, for Frazee's sake, Hillcrest really didn't figure out how to handle that. They had some problems late in that first half with the turnover bug, and it really got Frazee right back in the ball game, gave them the lead. They've got to hope for that same type of production off that press.
I want to remind you, tomorrow afternoon, more college basketball action on WDAY, the NCC postseason tournament. Third place game between Omaha and the University of North Dakota, South Dakota, and South Dakota State to play for the NCC postseason tournament. There you see Denny Anderson, former head coach at Moritz State, and Richard Risbrut, who has done one whale of a job with his Hillcrest Comet basketball team. Here we go, start the second half. It's the Hornets, and out front is Ferguson. Johnson trying to test it early. He's double-teamed on the base. Thompson, nice move over the big fella. And it's pulled away by Listas. Listas was a little quiet in that first half.
He's the shy one of the Norwegians. That's in person and on the court. He won't shoot much, and he's just there for rebounds, basically. Whatever point production they get from him is a big bonus.
Well, you heard the halftime talk by Richard Risbrut, and he was saying downtown is where they want to go with the basketball. They want to get it down to Fieldhouse. Carl kicks it out to Newman. They're being a little bit more patient. Christensen, nice touch. And quickly, as Risbrut instructed his team, they're quickly down on the zone defense.
They listened up at halftime.
Inside feed, Thompson trying to handle it. Newman and Kostanek. Possession is going to go to the Comets.
Here's the replay. The baseline drive is going to be shut off. They try to shovel it back to Thompson. He's not quite ready. And the ball gets loose, and Hillcrest comes up with it via the possession arrow.
More pressure by the Comets. This is Carl. He's got the lane. Nice drive. Carl
with the Dr. J finger roll.
Really. And the first 4 of the second half goes to Fergus Falls Hillcrest. Notice how Leathith is coming out on Johnson. He's not giving him that shot anymore. Anderson, Cole, Kostanek in traffic, trying to keep it alive. And this possession is going to go with the Hornets.
Well, you heard Richard Risbrut at halftime down in the locker room say that all of Frazee's points are coming from the outside. We got to get out a little bit more because they certainly can't score inside.
And the first guy they're trying to take away is Nate Johnson. Thompson with a basketball. The shot selection here in the second half has been forced outside. There's Kostanek. Whoop, really threw it up over Frodo Loftus, has had no choice. And they're going to say it belongs to the Comets.
Frazee's saying that Loftus-Smith blocked it.
Oh, he
and
did.
They're right.
There he did. Tough call.
Loftus-Smith did block it, and it should have been Frazee ball.
I think every official should have a sky cam. Don't leave home without it. Christensen off the dribble. Too strong. Nate Johnson again clears it away to Thompson, to Anderson. Thompson, nice feed inside. Kostanek fouled by Frodo Loftus. It's going to be his second.
I don't believe Frodo got him on the first shot, but I believe on the second one he did hit him with his arm. Then he'd love to get him in foul trouble.
Kostanek, who probably has the tallest order of anybody on that Hornet ball club tonight.
But I've noticed that Frazee has not shied away from driving inside right to Frodo.
No, they've played their game. They really have. They've taken it to the iron, have not been intimidated in that regard. Lisa clears it away, and he throws it right away to the Hornets. Then quickly, Anderson with a bucket. So 1-point game. Christensen through traffic. Nice dribble up the floor. Outside to Newman. Newman in trouble. Back to Carl. Eric Carl, guarded by Nate Johnson. Nice matchup there. And this is a dandy out front here. Christensen and Anderson. Carl can't pass those up. He wants it. He wants it. And he's got it. We're at the 5-minute mark, and it's a 3-point game. Dana, I'm surprised how well the Hornets have been able to stay with Fergus Falls Hillcrest despite the disadvantage as far as the height goes. And Eric Carl has got something in his contact.
I think in his last drive to the bucket, he got poked in the eye or got bumped in the eye. I don't know if he knows if he's got a contact or if he wears them or what.
4:52 remaining here, a 3-point game. Hillcrest leading it, 38-35. Denny Anderson, he's coaching while this thing's going on. There he's going to sit down.
He started talking to me coming out of the locker room. I thought my ears were turned down. I couldn't hear what he was saying.
He told me before the game that he's been bothered by a touch of voice loss. I don't know.
Cold, flu, it's
Yeah.
all going around.
Yeah. Newman tied up. Throws it away.
Picked up his dribble, and he was in big-time trouble.
Anderson challenging. Down low. Kostanek in traffic. He walks. Frodo was going to give him that one. Loftus did not want to pick up his third. A 3-point lead for the Comets. They have the ball. Ferguson picks up Newman. This matchup zone that they're in is being pretty tough. They're denying Carl down low. Leathith rejected. Frodo picks up the garbage and puts it down. Biggest lead of the second half for either team. Owned by Hillcrest. Nate Johnson. Over Lisa. It won't go. Carl, outlet pass. Christensen. Here come the Comets. Christensen off the dribble. He's tough with that. Won't fall this time. Loose ball to the baseline, and Christensen inside the Frodo Loftus. He wants to jam. He's fouled. It won't go. Thompson's going to be charged. Frodo was smelling dunk, wasn't he?
He wanted it. He knew he was going to go after it. Great hustle here by the Comets, and they try and actually knock the ball out of bounds. It's going to turn into an assist for Christensen. Possibly, but he didn't knock it in.
Frodo Loftus.
Didn't understand what the playoffs even meant. Had to sit down. He and Canute sat down with the coach and asked what the playoffs were all about. He said, well, it's like this. We just keep playing through another season. He said, well, how long do we play? He said, you play till you lose. Oh, don't worry, Coach. We'll do okay.
Well, they lead it by 6. Then we'll be back. And Hillcrest enjoying their biggest lead of the game of 6 points. Now, keep in mind, the last time, as you see the field goals in the third quarter, Frazee a little cold. The last time there was a timeout, Dana, Frazee came out, went on a 9-4 run to even it up at 32 at the end of the first half. Let's see how this timeout affects Frazee. They need a run here with 3:47 remaining in the third. The Comets are believing. Ferguson, Corey Ferguson will work the ball up against the 2-3 zone. Anderson, Thompson, back to Johnson. Anderson for 3, short. Newman, he wants to run it. Newman will hold it up. Frazee has not changed his defense. Going to stay with what they were doing. Back outside to Newman. They seem to recognize it in the Hillcrest camp. Froda down low. Offensive foul. That's his third. Kostanek. They're sagging heavy on Froda. The guards are just getting it up top, letting him work with it.
Risbrook says that the Hornet defense didn't allow Froda to come down with the ball, but they call offensive charging on Froda.
And he's got to be thinking now, do we dare sit him down?
I think they will. Chris Nordland is up and at the scorer's table. I think Froda is coming out.
Thompson to Nate Johnson. Inside to Thompson. Kostanek can't save it. It comes to Lisa, and here come the Comets. Eric Carl down to Froda. Inside. In too tight.
Great job by Kostanek to get back and change Froda's shot.
Big transition bucket coming up if the Hornets can connect. Short won't go. Nate Johnson clears off the Ferguson miss. Kostanek in traffic, and Frodo let him have that one, and he didn't anticipate that lackluster defensive effort.
Frodo just didn't want to pick up his fourth.
Well, Frodo's learned early. 5 and you sit down.
And he likes playing.
Foul on the backcourt. That's going to be on Ferguson. And yes, they will make the change. And Chris Nordland's going to check in now for the Comets. Now this will be interesting to see what the point run is and what the rebounding run is since Frodo Loftus sits to the bench at 2:07 remaining in the third.
Richard Risbrook, as Froda sat down, looked across the court at Eric Carl and said, "You have got to shoot the ball."
Wouldn't be a bad idea for the Comets to play keep away right now until the end of the quarter, but Anderson's got a different idea, and he's fouled quickly by Newman.
Good scrappy defense that time by Hillcrest. There's the reach-in by Eddie Newman.
Serious reach-in.
Now Frazee can maybe go inside just a shade more.
Frazee, they can't get the roll. They haven't scored in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. They're cold. Newman all the way to the iron. Rejected. Kostanek followed inside. Newman hooks her up. And Leesop is going to be fouled. Kostanek picks up the foul. Frazee's gone 4 minutes with no points.
Eddie Newman goes with a Kareem skyhook, doesn't find it. Lisa picks up the foul. He'll go to the line, but he is the Comets' worst free throw shooter. Simply because this is the first year he has ever played basketball, which is amazing.
Too strong again. Kostanek trying to save it. It is going to go to the Comets. You know, ironically, the free throw is probably the easiest shot in basketball because it's the most practiced. But if you haven't played the game before, I mean, think about that. They haven't played the game before, and look where they are. Carl, Christensen, Kostanek, and that foul is going to be on Lisa. Nope, check that. Excuse me. That one is going to be on Nordland. 12 turnovers for Hillcrest. And, you know, Risbert, he's got to be happy. You know, for over 4 minutes, the Hornets haven't scored, and the big fellow's sitting down.
We've been stuck on 41-35 for quite a while.
Oh, he walked. One minute remaining. There you see it in the third. And we've been stuck on 41-35 for a whole bunch of minutes. In fact, it was 32-32 at the half. Now, this is what I thought they were going to do as soon as Frodo came out of the lineup with 2:07 remaining in the quarter. Tied up there, Christensen taken away nicely by Ferguson. Ferguson loses the ball to Lisa. Over to Newman. Newman all the way and in. Big run here defensively for the Comets. And finally, Anderson breaks the ice after 4 minutes and 30 seconds of no points. Carl at the end of the third. Risbert wanted a foul, didn't get it. So we go to the final 8 minutes. We got it, Andy. Stay with us. Back for the conclusion of the 23-8 championship game on WDAY. As we go to the fourth quarter, it was a rough quarter at the office for the Hornets. They scored only 5, and they went over 5 minutes. To be exact, 5 minutes and 35 seconds with no points. They trail it by 6. They've never won the 23-8 championship, and the Comets haven't done it since 1976. Carl inside, Froda back off the bench, an easy 2. They're on a 9-2 run. And this is their biggest lead of the game at 8 points. Thompson, he's got a hit. Too strong. Going to stay with the Hornets.
Safe to say the Hornets do have to find the range from outside to be successful in this championship game.
Frazee, 5 of 10 from three-point land tonight. They're coming out on Thompson and Nate Johnson in the corners to take that shot away. Anderson got called for travel on the last move like that. They're trying to go to Kostanek, and the defense then is just coming up big for the Comets. 2 big defensive changes by the Comets as you look at the defense in the paint is the way they're playing the ball to the corner and also toughening up right here in the paint.
Well, this time Frazee actually forced it inside a little bit. The drive there, and they dished it off, and it just wasn't much going on inside. The scramble for the loose ball, and Kostanek ends up out of bounds.
Back to live action as Carl all the way. Kicks it back out to Newman. Newman from 15. Kostanek. Ferguson couldn't handle it. Interesting connection. Froda Loftus is a second cousin of Matt Nelson, who played for the Bison, who just finished up his career at North Dakota State. 12 turnovers tonight for Frazee. Christensen. Now, Dana, what do you think about them eating up more time on the possession?
They've got a nice lead, but we can shoot like that. Take a perfect shot. Take that 12 to 15-foot jumper if you're wide open.
Foul by Christensen, and a 10-point advantage now for Hillcrest. This is crunch time for the Hornets. They have got to hit some shots consecutively to get back in this thing.
Frazee has just gone stone cold here in the second half. Nate Johnson, look at, he's only shot once. Nate has got to shoot more. They've got to find a way, if not to drive inside that zone of Hillcrest and then pop it back outside for some jumpers, because they're not going to get many points inside.
Well, on that 2-3 zone, Hillcrest has really taken their forwards and going right to the corner, shutting off Johnson and Thompson. They were not doing that early in the game. 6 minutes to go. 10-point lead for Hillcrest. This place is going to erupt if the Comets can hang on. Lisa, Christensen, off the dribble, short. Lisa. Anderson. Look at those red shirts get back on the D.
Tell you what, they listen to their coach.
Thompson for three. Christensen looking for help. Up to Newman. Froda. From one Norski to another.
And a gentle dunk.
Thompson, he knows where the bucket is. Leeson over the back, fouled by Ferguson. And Denny Anderson wants a timeout, down by 11. 5:08 to go. And we'll be back. Sooner or later, it'll show on the scoreboard, too. And it's starting to. An 11-point advantage for Hillcrest in that run we talked about that went from 9 to 4 is now 15-5. And Froda Loftus, with 5:08 to play, has got 3 fouls. See how he's way down here in this corner? They're really stretching the court on this pressure. This was the big key coming into this game. How well would the Comets handle it? Nice assist from Kyle to Froda Loftus. And they're schooled up to get back on the D.
And the execution of that tells you how they're handling the press. Piece of cake.
Comets are starting to play at a different level. Johnson clears it away to Anderson. Got to take it. Cole and Kostanek. Oh, no, wait a minute. Eric Carl going to be charged with that. Only his second. 4:13 remaining. Comets have done 2 excellent things as far as adjustments go. Number one, the way they played their forwards on the 2-3 zone and cut off the corner shot. And secondly, how they've stretched the floor against Frazee's pressure. Free throw is down by Kostanek. They all count.
And Frazee needs them all at this point.
This is what Frazee's got to do. They got to keep coming at him. Christensen's done a fine job of handling the heat. Froda Loftus. 3 guys hanging on him. Anderson back to Thompson. Ferguson won't go. Lisa clears off a missed Nate Johnson shot. Here comes Newman. 13-point advantage. Coming up on the 3:30 mark remaining in the ball game. And Hillcrest is now in a position to play keep away and win it. Kostanek up the floor to Anderson. He's got to create something. Nice roll. Froda couldn't hang on to it. He's thinking prime time dunk, baby.
He knows how to get back down for the easy layup or the dunk. Froda's having a great night, too. 23 points, 10 rebounds.
Kenny Anderson's crew is not out of it. Down by 11. Coming up on the 3-minute mark. But they're going to have to bury a number in a row. Newman and Christensen challenging the ball a little bit further out. What an intimidator Froda Loftus is. Quickly out to Newman. Newman's going all the way. Christensen follows. Johnson needs help. Ferguson, too strong. Christensen, foul. That'll be on Ferguson. It's a tempo that the Comets didn't prefer, but hey, it's working pretty good here late, isn't it?
They've adjusted to it well. It's Frazee's tempo, but the Comets are having a success at it, not Frazee.
Kenny Anderson's team's got 2:33 to do something about a 13-point deficit, and we'll be back. Fergus Falls Hillcrest leads it by 13, and Dana, I guess I don't feel that Eric Carl has had the kind of night he had last night. They're doing that with him being kind of quiet.
It's a quiet 16 for Eric Carl, but Brad Christensen has really picked up the slack. He's got just as fine a shooting touch as Eric Carl.
Well, Christensen's floor game has been, I think, the most impressive thing for the Comets here tonight. He's been the key to them handling the pressure of the full court defensive pressure by the Hornets. Johnson. Ferguson with a drive. Nice transition bucket. Newman. Here comes Carl. That's going to be, they're going to call a block on Kostanek.
He split over and didn't quite have position. And they're sending the wrong man to the line. So with 2:15 remaining, they really don't have much choice. They've got to foul the guy who has the basketball.
You may notice the knee pads that Eric Carl has on as he hits that free throw. You know, he's got some kind of tendon problem with his knees, and they ice him up before the game. We're talking about like Hondo Havlicek here.
He's a gamer. You can't keep him out. He's from Moorhead.
Yeah, serious gamer.
He's from Moorhead, but he chose to go to Fergus Falls Hillcrest.
Anderson over Loftus, but he clears it away. Rhoda walk.
You know where he was going.
Yeah, the officials didn't even signal a walk. It was so blatant. He was probably saying, wonder what it's like to do this.
He was going to lead the break that time.
13-point advantage. Hornets got to gun it. Out to Christensen, out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Comets. One of the Comets going to start fouling
right now.
We're inside the 2-minute mark, as you see it. 13-point lead for Fergus Falls Hillcrest. 17-4 on the year. Frazee at 18-5 with a very young ball club, I might add. A young ball club. Thompson, a junior. Johnson, a junior. Anderson, a sophomore. Kosinick is a senior. And Ferguson's a sophomore. So we may see this Frazee team in the future.
And Richard Risbert will go to work and try and get Froda back for another season. Augustana College has shown some interest in Froda. They've talked to the big fella.
And again, Christensen puts in a couple of free throws. Richard Risbert, he told our technical people that they were so excited they went home and watched the replay twice, didn't get to bed till 5 o'clock in the morning. He might be up till Monday now. Frazee 6 of 12 from three-point land tonight. And obviously that's not enough with 1:50 to go. Great run by this young team coming in here tonight at 18-5. Christensen's shot won't go. Mike Thompson clears it away. Here comes Johnson. Johnson has to do something from three-point land. It won't go. Carl, he's fouled. A lot of people thought it would be this kind of game much earlier, Dana.
With the size advantage that Hillcrest had, but Frazee shot the lights out in that first half. They played a perfect first half, but they couldn't keep it going through the second half. It's kind of the luck of the Hornet this year. Great success in athletics, and they always come up that one game short of their goals.
And there's a timeout with 1:40 remaining. And we'll be back for the conclusion of the 23A championship game live from Concordia after this.
Fourth quarter, guys. You played a great fourth quarter. Keep it up. Now, I'm proud of you guys. It's a good effort. It's a good effort. Okay? Go! Hey, we got a minute and 40 seconds. You guys play your heart out. Okay? And just remember who gives you the strength, all right?
Fergus Falls, Hillcrest, Lutheran Academy. And the final word from the coach in the huddle. Just remember who gives you the strength. They are believers. And that's kind of nice to hear. Even in sports. You betcha. Hornets only 16 points in this second half, Dana. That shooting percentage has haunted them.
Never got on track in the second half.
Johnson. Thompson. Again, Newman clears it. He's fouled by Nate Johnson. That's the only resort Frazee's got right now. We are, in a sense, seeing a repeat of last night's game when you look at the complexion of how it's come down.
Deja vu, Glenn and Felton. Pretty good first half. Struggle with that shooting percentage in the second half, and Hillcrest just does not struggle because it gets great shots. Inside, 12, 10, 15 feet.
Mike Thompson clears the way. You know, Denny Anderson is in there saying, I hate it when we have to do this. Shoot right away, foul right away. You know, you're not in your rhythm. You're taking shots because you feel forced to do it. Johnson, Anderson, Thompson in tight. That's 4 misses, 3 misses and a bucket. And a three-point play opportunity as Newman is charged with the foul.
Well, that series under the hoop certainly typifies the second half of this Hornet basketball team. Of 4 shots to the iron, none of them go in. Finally, the 5th one up and in by Thompson. He's hacked. And they called that foul on Eddie Newman.
Minute 12 away from the District 23A championship, and Frazee, the ultimate optimist, the head coach, Denny Anderson.
Let's do this. Nate, jump all over the ball. Get all over the ball. Yeah. Corey, go right to here. Mike, go right back there. Right there, Mike. Right there. Ball comes in trap right away. Left-hander. A left-hander, we're going to call Newman. The big guy. You can help him, not Carl or Christensen. You can't help it, we got to do it. Hey, guys, we're 3 shots out. We're 3 shots away. Let's get him. Let's go. You can do it. You can do it. You play so hard all year. Now is the time right now. You can still do it. Let's go. What do you think? Come on.
Free throw for 3. Make it to the line. We just
Time out. Time out. You got one time out left. Come on.
All over the ball. Always coaching. Always teaching. Always believing. That's Denny Anderson at Frazee, Minnesota.
Yeah, as soon as we can.
I even believe after that huddle. 3 shots away.
Frazee had the lead back when it was 36-35, and since then it has been a 27-15 run by Hillcrest. To the line, Mike Thompson. Stone cold second half. Newman into Christensen, back to Newman, and quickly up the floor. We got a foul back here. That's going to be on Hausman. .107 to go. A 13-point lead for Fergus Falls Hillcrest. It's starting to sink in with these Comet fans.
They're all starting to inch down out of the stands, aren't they?
Thinking, gosh, what's that region all about?
They're certainly going to ignore the PA announcer, Brett Dorsford, who asked the fans to stay off the court. Wrong.
Got all these Cobber football players over here ready. Newman, cans 2. Nice touch by the lefty. 15-point advantage, biggest of the game. Anderson for 3. Wow, are they cold. Loftus, he's fouled by Thompson. Give credit to this Frazee club. They're just a bunch of scrappers. I mean, when you look at them, they're not all that impressive. You know, I mean, when you just stand them up and line them up.
It's an unassuming ball club. You can't really tell who's the forward and who's the guard, can you?
Or who's got the hot hand.
But they got heart, and that's what got them to the District 23 championship game.
You bet. They love Froda and Fergus Falls. By 17. Less than a minute. Nate Johnson. Johnson. NBA 3. Thompson inside. And he's got a 3-point play opportunity. That'll be a foul on Froda Loftus.
Froda's bummed because he thinks he's coming out of the ball game. I think that's foul number 4 on Froda.
Well, the Comets, we understand that Wheaton has won District 21, and they will be back in the Region 6A tournament.
Wheaton defeating West Central tonight, and West Central had a pretty impressive season. I believe it had just 1 loss in the regular season.
Staples playing in their district final tonight.
Against Bertha Hewitt, a team that upset undefeated Henning in the opening round.
Catching eyes down here with Oaks LeGrand on the table. You want to talk about a broadcast warhorse. Froda wants a dunk. He's fouled. Oh, it's a continuation.
NBA continuation.
Froda's coming right there. What that means?
Sure, the first thing he learned when he came to the States was the high five. No, that was a good one. That's a good call. Foul just prevented the dunk.
It's that emotional roll that has carried Hillcrest to this 18-point advantage and another steal. Eric Carl. Frazee. They're a lot better than this.
We're at the 39-second mark, and I have not seen Froda smile yet.
I think he knows they're ahead.
Well, he knows this is the playoffs. They did win. They will keep playing. Here come the shock troops.
Great respect, great camaraderie. We'll see you next week, kids. Eric Carl. What a player. Marshall Langamo, he's smiling from ear to ear, isn't he?
And I'm not sure he knows which way to go in a basketball, but he is loving it.
Eric Carl. He's going to the region. Great feeling for those kids. Housen on the drive. He's fouled. Chad Miller gets in the stat book with a foul. 72-52. All of a sudden, it's been all Comets. Great year as the disappointment starting to set in for Frazee. We understand West Fargo has defeated Fargo North, and they're in the State A championship game in North Dakota. Loose ball outside. Hey, he's going to the line.
He's got a chance to score in the District 23 championship.
Marshall Langamo.
I tell you what, he definitely leads the conference in the shoelace category. Pan down to those babies and don't adjust your sets at home. Wow. He's in the scorebook.
Where did he get them?
I don't know, but he's part of the reason they're here.
That's right.
We practice all year long.
Comets having all kinds of fun. Wallace on the foul that time. 10 seconds to go.
Hillcrest will party tonight.
They certainly will, and want to remind you of a
Reception at Triumph Lutheran Church in South Moorhead. Jack Sand tells us they expect about 400 people there.
That'll do it. Fergus Falls Hillcrest. They're going to the region tournament. A great show. A great effort. Protolopsis. He has figured out what this is all about. 76-52 is the final. A decisive victory for the Comets from Fergus Falls, Hillcrest. For the first time since 1976, the Comets have got a chance to go to the region tournament. Richard Risbrook, coach, great defensive adjustment. I really thought your adjustments there at halftime, the way you played your forwards on that 2-3, really caused them problems. Great job.
Thanks a lot, Eddie. It's really a dream come true. These guys will be taking out that.
Well, how's it feel?
Feels pretty good.
Huh?
Feels pretty good.
This is what you work for, fella.
Right.
Tell me about these kids.
Well, I just team of destiny, I guess. I was concerned about him hustling back on defense. You want the big guy to hustle back as soon as he can. Get the hands up. What happened in the first half was he's a little bit slow in getting down, so Brad Christensen and the other guys had to cover underneath, and then Frazee would take that shot from the top, and they're just excellent shooters. They're just great shooters.
Was it a matter of time? Did you feel confident at halftime that it was a matter of time before if you made these adjustments, you could really spread the gap?
I think, I guess we were confident in that. We were concerned about our free throw shooting at the end. And the percentages go up on the screen, and we had Eddie Newman take the ball out of bounds there at the end. But he can 2 free throws at the end there, too. We're proud of him. Otherwise, Brad Christensen there, Carl really did the job.
I like Marshall Langamo. He was having fun.
Yeah, he was fired up tonight. It's good to get those guys out there, too.
You hand out those shoelaces?
Oh, yeah. They're supposed to be the same color, but I didn't catch it.
Region tournament, what do you think?
Oh,
You're in there with a big fella.
I don't even know where it's played.
It's right here, Coach. It's right here, Richard.
That's great. I'm looking forward to it. It's really a dream come true.
What's it mean to handle the Heart of Lakes Conference like this?
Well, we've always had a lot of respect for them, and they've respected us too. And they play a very difficult schedule, and they beat up each other in the Heart of Lakes, and it's just great for us to come in here and just play as good as basketball as we can. But for the team to come out and beat number 1 and number 2, in the tournament, and number 5. I guess I felt number 4 was a fair seed for us. And they just really came out and played at tournament time.
Richard, for people who didn't know where Fergus Falls Hillcrest was or what you're all about, you've done them justice, fella. We'll see you next week in the
community
region.
We're proud of our town. Everybody was behind us tonight.
You ought to be. And we'll see you next week in the region tournament.
And we're going to be behind the Otters tomorrow night against the Spuds.
All right.
The head coach.
Hillcrest Academy Comets. Let's talk to Brad Christensen. Hey, nice job of handling the ball. I thought you handled the pressure very well tonight.
Thank you.
What was the game plan when Frazee got a hold of you early? What were you thinking?
Just to keep confidence in the game and just keep doing the best we could.
It seemed like they turned to you more and more. Was that the game plan when the pressure was on like that to handle the ball off the floor?
Either me or Eric Carl was better free throw shooters on the team.
Dana and I noticed that you know where the big fella is in a half-court game.
Yeah.
We thought you'd be all tournament if you kept hitting it into him. What about that? Is that your responsibility?
No, it's anyone. You just look for him. I mean, the key is to throw it into him, especially with a team where they can't guard him.
Brad, tell me about what it means for this team to go to the region.
Incredible. I can't believe it. It's a dream come true.
Now you're in there with more primetime lights. We're looking forward to having you. All right, Brad, nice job. Brad Christensen. There you see Denny Anderson congratulating Mike Thompson. And what a year the Hornets had. They finished up at 18-6. Dana Mock is with Eric Carl, and I tell you, this kid is a player. I'm looking forward to him in the region, and he knows he's got to play well, Dana.
Darn tootin' he's got to. Eric Carl and even Steven 20 points tonight. Let me ask you, let's go back to the beginning of basketball season. Did you truly believe that this team had what it took to win the District 23 title?
Boy, it's a long time ago.
I knew that we had the talent. I didn't know if we had the smarts. Brad would have took up here to go all the way in the district championship, but we did it tonight.
There had to be a time when you thought, hey, we've got the smarts, we've got just the right stuff to win this thing. When was that? Pelican?
Pelican towards the end when we started getting the rebounds, when usually sometimes we'd fall apart at the end there and not get the board. We started really crashing, and then our weekends really came in on the rebounding, and I knew right then that we wanted it. We wanted the board.
Eric, your coach called this team maybe a team of destiny. What do you think?
I don't know. It kind of seems that way. Kind of the underdog all the time.
You seemed a little pumped up right there at the end. Maybe a little more so than anybody else.
Oh, it's
got to be sweet that you're a senior.
Yeah, I played 4 years here and went through a real tough losing season early on in my high school career, so this is just sweet.
What do you think about the region?
It'll be tough. Looking forward to it, though.
You guys are used to wearing that underdog shoe, though, aren't you? That label?
Yeah, we like it. We like it a lot.
Eric Carl, congratulations on a District 23 championship. Eric Carl, Ed, with 20 points tonight. I'll tell you what, one of the sweetest jump shots we've seen in a long time.
Rhoda Lofton. Number 23. Rhoda, have you figured this out yet?
Yeah, it's just great. All the audience and all that stuff is just great. I love it.
What were you thinking with all those guys hanging on you in there like that?
It's just great, you know. When you know you're going to win and stuff, you don't care very much about it. It's just great.
Have you been taken by the emotion of basketball? Has that been as fun as the game?
Yeah, especially the last game, yesterday, that was just great, that game. That was the fun of today. Oh, man.
What about the coaches of this team? I mean, these are new people to you, and now all of a sudden they're great friends to you. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this is really fun because it's welcome over the whole team and stuff like that. So the whole team is taking care of us, and the whole school is welcoming us all.
Rhoda, they're calling for you. Good luck to you. We'll see you next week in the region. The primetime lights. They're on. The Fergus Falls Hillcrest Academy Comets. Richard Risbrook has done a phenomenal job, and his team is going to the Region 6A tournament next week. And you'll see it right here on WDAY TV starting Thursday night with the semifinals and the championship game on Friday night. Ed Thompson, Superintendent of Barnesville, making a presentation. Dana, once again, we see tremendous emotion from the people in District 23. And there's Bill Colbeck, who for so many years was the head coach at Fergus Falls Hillcrest, and what a great moment this is for him to see his team and his school do this. He's now the principal at the academy.
And as the winning streak grows for Hillcrest, you could just see that confidence grow along with it.
Certainly not to tarnish the season that the Frazee Hornets had. They finish up a very solid 18-6. Denny Anderson, congratulations on a great year.
Thank you. The kids are just fabulous kids. It's their team, and they play their guts out.
You know, that second half, I don't think really is indicative of what this game was all about for your team. Sometimes in this crazy game of round ball, those things just snowball, don't they?
Oh, do they ever? We missed some shots inside, and of course, we got to give credit to the big guy. He intimidated us. And I can't blame our kids for being intimidated by him. He's a great player. He's got great timing. And then when we did get the shots in there, when he wasn't around, they still wouldn't go in. So, you know, it's not that we didn't try hard, they just didn't go in.
seemed to me they brought the forwards out on a 2-3 zone on your corner shot, and then they also stretched the court on you against the zone pressure. I thought that those two adjustments really helped them out.
It really did, because we couldn't hit inside. We couldn't hit inside, then they were able to stretch it out, and then we didn't get the shots from the outside.
Denny, what do you think this crew's going to do in the region? I know you're religiously looking at all the teams in Minnesota. This is a pretty good outfit over at Hillcrest.
It really is. They've got two solid wings, real solid. The big guy speaks for himself. Their little point guard, Newman, is just a solid player. And the other kid, even though I'm Norwegian, I can't pronounce it. He's a great role player. They are role basketball players. They are what a team is all about. I don't care how far they go. They're a great team. They really are.
And before this game, you and I visited, and you told me what a great job Dick has done with his crew.
Dick is an excellent person, an excellent coach. He learned from a real super person in Bill Colfax. They just got a class program over there.
Denny, great season for the Hornets, and hope to see you next year. You got a young club there.
Yeah, we do. We think we're going to be better next year.
All right.
We're going to miss our two seniors. They were great all year. I just appreciate the job you guys do, and a tremendous job District 23 does.
Well, we appreciate that, and I guess I don't want to let you go until you comment on what a great athletic year Frazee has had. I'm talking football. I'm talking wrestling. Your crew very proud. Still got track coming up. Hey, you guys are having fun down there.
Oh, are we ever? I'll pop my chest out anytime I talk about Frazee being the athletic director, too. Frank Hesby did an outstanding job and his coaching staff, and they took the kids to the Dome in football. Clay Nagel and his coaching staff did an outstanding job, and they took second in the state in wrestling. Woody Blaze, he's always representative, very good in girls basketball. Our kids speak for themselves. Our track is coming up, our golf, our baseball. We've got outstanding kids.
You got a fishing boat down there?
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Can we fill it up?
I'll take you fishing on Eagle Lake if you take me salmon fishing in Alaska, okay?
Danny, I love you, buddy. Heck of a coach.
Thank you very much.
Love having you here on the tournament this year, and best of luck to you next year. I'll see you on down the road.
Thank you, Ed.
All right, Denny Anderson, class act, great coach, great educator, and a great athletic director, and he'll be the first one to tell you, and he did, this outfit that's going to the Region 6A tournament, they deserve it.
If I'm not mistaken, they meet the winner of that Bertha Hewitt-Staples-Motley game right off the bat. That could be a barn burner. If it's Staples-Motley, and I'm sure the Cardinals are favored to win that one, Staples-Motley comes in here just loaded with experience.
I want to remind you that WDAY-TV is going to Frazee, Minnesota, Sunday, March 10th at 2 o'clock. Meet at the Water Tower. Join the Centennial Fun Walk in recognition of all the Frazee sports in the 1990-91 season. And they have had a great run. And, of course, we will be following this Hillcrest basketball team into the region tournament next week. And we will be back live here next Thursday night for the semifinals of the Region 6A tournament. And in our 7th year, I don't know if there's any more surprises left, but I tell you what, Fergus Falls Hillcrest surprised this cowboy.
You realize that probably most of these kids probably first got the dream of playing on prime time when they were probably 3rd, 4th graders, and now that means we're old, Ed.
Settle down. You know, I'm so proud that our station, WDAY-TV, does this. These people in District 23A, these are our loyal viewers every night at 6 and 10. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I do talk a lot of, along the trail to kids about saying no to drugs and whatnot, a lot of different schools I go to. And everything we do in this industry of television and communication, sometimes it's not all positive. But I can say this has been one of the most fulfilling things I think that our station has been able to do, is to associate with these great people in District 23. And I think the testimony of that is, Dana, I get a phone call this morning from Ed Thompson down there at Barnesville. He says, hey, we got to get that contract squared away for next year. Hey, Eddie, don't you worry about it. We're coming back, buddy. We wouldn't miss you for anything. It's been a lot of fun, and it's neat to see a young team and a new team, a new and different team come in here, and maybe it was little Eric Carl 7 years ago who saw the lights go on at Concordia. Maybe it was Brad Christensen or Eddie Newman who thought, gosh, would I like to be a part of that? And maybe if we did send them in the right direction, as Tom Critchley at Hawley says we've done, because of the coverage, then maybe we're adding something to the community that we want to. And they're having fun, and that's what it's all about. Folks, it's been fun. Final score here tonight, 76-52, Hillcrest over Frazee. And we'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 with NCC postseason tournament action. North Dakota Sioux, the #1 ranked team in the country in Division II basketball, upset today by South Dakota. They will play Omaha for third place, and then South Dakota State will take on South Dakota tomorrow afternoon for the championship. And Dana, that's a big one. The winner gets an automatic berth in the NCAA regional.
South Dakota State may have one anyway, but I don't think the Coyotes of South Dakota would get in if they happen to lose. So it's a huge ball game for both teams. A win would guarantee it. A loss, and you're sitting there on the bubble. You're at the mercy of the NCAA tournament selection committee.
Richie Glass, little concerned with the way his team played against the Bison. Then they kind of got on a roll, and then of course they went on and played extremely well on Tuesday night. And then they can't come back today and didn't really play their game. Held to 61 points, and tomorrow's a big one for them. They will probably host next weekend.
We have been told it's 95% sure that UND will host the North Central Regional in Grand Forks at Hislop. And UND, the way it played down the stretch today, may need to host. UND, very uncommon, not like a Richie Glass coach team, really did not handle the pressure well. Scott Gulsteff threw up some air balls. It was not a typical UND finish. And Rich Glass says we need to get better. We need to learn from this loss today. We need to get back home where they have, what, a 32-game winning streak? That would cure a lot of things for that Sioux basketball team. But I think they're playing in a weak region. I don't think there's going to be a lot of great teams coming into Grand Forks. Metro State out of Denver, Colorado will probably be there again, barring an upset. That's an athletic and talented basketball team. So I look for those two teams to be in the championship game. And it's a one-shot deal then. You're on to Springfield or you're going home.
We're now that Eric Carl and the Hillcrest Comets have tasted the sweetness of holding up that hardware, I just wonder how it's going to affect the #1 team out of District 23 next week if we open up the region coverage here at the Cobber Fieldhouse. Folks, it's been a lot of fun here tonight. We're going to be back next Thursday night. The semifinals of Region 6A basketball will start at 7 o'clock live here at Concordia. And then we'll be back on Friday night. And the winner of that game will have the right to go to the Minnesota State Class A basketball tournament. You see the people who have made it possible for us to do what we've done here the last couple of nights. It's been a whole bunch of fun. We'll see you in 20 minutes with the sports. For Dana Mock and the rest of our entire technical crew here, this is Ed Schultz saying so long from Concordia College. Stay tuned for News Center 6. You are watching the Valley Sports Leader, WDAY Television Sports.